So you see, when Dad died, he didn't have any money, he didn't plan for things. And all he left me were 2 linen tapes, Tailor's tapes, 72-inch Tailor's tapes. And what I did with those was keep them in my bag and measure people up. I mean, if you get somebody who's overweight, you measure their chest, measure their waist. It helps the underwriters, did in those days, to give you a decent premium. But I also used it as a mechanism because the average male life was 72 in the United Kingdom. Ladies live longer, but 72 was a good mechanism for me to show people what happens during their lives. And then I realised that in fact there's a group of people, the group of people that we deal with, that have a different mortality rate. You see, we normally deal with people who can take life insurance out. So if I use male lives who can take life insurance out at ordinary rates of premium at age 20, then that gives me a mortality today of 83 for a male, 87 for a female. Dad's old tapes wouldn't cover that. Not only that, they weren't as expressive as these. And this is my mortality tape. This is the way I show people, and I use this as an attention giver. It's always in my pocket, and if we start talking about financial planning or people's lives or whatever, I say, can I just show you something that you might not appreciate, because here's 83 years of your life. What age are you? 55. Oh, well, 55. You've had all of that life there, that's gone, done, dusted. Whatever you've done there is gone, and whatever you've saved, you have in the bank. And I'm not going to ask you how much you've got in the bank, but do you know something? All during the back end of that 55 years, and probably your parents before you, spent 4 weeks a year probably, planning for this little red line. Any one of those little red lines, and probably they're a little bit thick for the 2 weeks that I'm referring to. Do you know what that 2 weeks represents? Your annual holiday. Your annual holiday, you spend 4 weeks, and I say to them, how much do you spend on your annual holiday each year? Well, they'll say, £500 or £2,000 or maybe £5,000. I say, well, do you know, if we move from 55 to 65, you've got that many years to save up enough money and plan for all those little red lines and all the white spaces in between. Do you know what that represents? That's retirement. That's the longest holiday of your life. How much time and effort have you put into saving for that? And one of the odd things about life is you actually don't know that you're not Mr. and Mrs. Average. You might just keep going on a little bit and on and on. And what about your spouse? Your spouse might be disabled in retirement or need special care. And she might rely, or he might rely, on your ability to fund that. Not only while you're around, but you know, one of the odd things about life is it disappears in a second. What provision have you made for those people that you love if your life disappeared in that second? All I want to do, perhaps, is to measure up your financial circumstances so that we can provide a bespoke, tailored solution to your financial circumstances. When can we meet? Could we meet maybe Tuesday at 3, or how about Friday at 10? How do you attract people's attention? How do you get them to understand life assurance and what it means, retirement planning and what it means, disability and its effect? And that's what we're about, aren't we? That's what you and I have got to communicate to our clients. Do other people outside of our industry understand that? Not always, do they? We're very good at communicating with the people we do business with, but when do we communicate effectively with those people that we really need to impress, journalists, regulators and the like? A mortality tape is just an easy way of showing people